Number 10. The heart attack that isn't a heart attack. Have you ever been just chilling on the couch, maybe watching one of my videos, when suddenly your heart decides to perform its own avant-garde jazz solo? It's not a steady beat. It's a frantic, fluttering mess. Your chest feels tight, your palms get sweaty, and your brain immediately jumps to the most dramatic, illogical conclusion. Oh, I'm dying. This is it. My last moments will be spent in a slightly dirty t-shirt, panicking about a remote that got lost in the cushions. This lovely little experience is a panic attack, and while it feels like your body is staging a dramatic exit, it's actually just a glitch in your internal alarm system. Think of it this way. Your body has a built-in survival program called the fight or flight response. Its job is to detect a threat and pump you full of adrenaline so you can either fight a bear or run away from one. But for some people, that alarm system has a hair trigger. A stressful thought, a scary movie, or even just a sudden change in temperature can be enough to set it off. Adrenaline floods your system, making your heart pound, your breathing speed up, and your muscles tense. Your brain, having just received a full-blown emergency alert from your nervous system, scrambles to make sense of the chaos and decides that the most logical explanation for all this physiological noise is a cardiac event. It's like a smoke alarm going off because you're making toast, and the first responders show up with a full tactical team because they think the entire building is on fire. Your brain is a brilliant but sometimes overzealous drama queen, and in this case, it's a terrifyingly bad hype man for your nervous system. Number 9. The body-slamming dizziness. You're just standing there, minding your business. Maybe you get up a little too fast. Then, the entire world decides to do a quick 360-degree spin before everything goes dark for a second. The floor seems to rush up to meet your face, and you instinctively grab onto the nearest wall or piece of furniture, like a sailor clinging to a mast in a storm. This is called orthostatic hypotension, which is just a fancy way of saying your blood pressure took a vacation and forgot to tell your brain. When you change positions quickly, like going from lying down to standing, gravity pulls blood down into your legs. A healthy circulatory system is supposed to compensate by squeezing your blood vessels and getting that blood back up to your head, but sometimes it just doesn't. For a moment, your brain isn't getting enough oxygen, and your brain, like a toddler who hasn't had a nap, immediately freaks out. It interprets this lack of oxygen not as a minor logistical error, but as a full-scale catastrophe. It sends out a panicked alert that sounds something like, "Warning, warning, the ship is sinking, we are losing power, the captain is going down." So you feel dizzy, your vision tunnels, and you have to hold on for dear life. It's your brain's way of yelling, "Get me to a horizontal position now," to avoid what it perceives as an imminent collapse. Your brain thinks you're on the verge of falling to the floor and becoming a permanent resident, but really, you just moved a bit too quickly. Number 8. The phantom itch. Imagine you're sitting in bed, and a sudden sharp itch appears on your arm. You scratch it, but it doesn't go away. In fact, it gets worse. Then you start to feel it on your leg, then your back, and your brain immediately starts running through a terrifying Rolodex of possibilities. Is it bed bugs? Am I having an allergic reaction? Am I just spontaneously developing hives for no reason at all? Your brain, which is already a master of overthinking, decides that this is not a simple itch. This is a sign. A sign of something terrible and insidious happening beneath your skin. You scratch until your skin is red, and the more you scratch, the more it itches. It's a vicious, maddening cycle. What's actually happening? It might just be stress. Stress and anxiety can trigger the release of histamine in your body, the same chemical your immune system releases during an allergic reaction. Your brain is essentially telling your skin to freak out, even when there's no actual threat. It's an itch that's completely a figment of your nervous system's imagination, a physiological ghost story. Your brain is so overwhelmed by whatever is stressing you out, it decides to invent a problem it can actually see and feel. An itch, as a kind of physical distraction. It's like your body is saying, "Hey, I know you're worried about that big presentation, so here, have a random, unsolvable itch to occupy your thoughts. You're welcome." Number 7. The dreadful lump in your throat. You're trying to swallow, and you feel it. A lump. A golf ball-sized obstruction that wasn't there a minute ago. No matter how much you swallow, it won't go down. You start to panic. Your brain starts playing the most terrifying movie it can produce. A scene where you slowly, agonizingly suffocate because you can't get a single breath in. This sensation, known as globus pharyngeus, is a sensation, not an actual physical object. There's nothing stuck in your throat. It's your muscles throwing a fit. When you're stressed or anxious, the muscles in your throat, particularly the ones you use to swallow, can tense up and spasm. It's your body's old, outdated reflex. Back in the day, if you saw a tiger, your body would immediately get you ready to either fight or run, and part of that was bracing all your muscles. Now, that same response gets triggered by an email from your boss. The muscles in your throat get so tight that they give you the illusion of a lump, making you feel like you're choking. So when you're worried about something, your brain, in its infinite wisdom, makes it feel like you're on the verge of death. It's the most inconvenient and unsettling form of physical therapy you can imagine. Number 6. The terrifying tingling. You wake up in the middle of the night, and your arm feels like it's full of fizzing soda pop. It's a strange, prickly sensation, a pins and needles feeling that makes you want to shake your arm until it falls off. You can't feel your hand. It's completely numb. The brain, ever the pessimist, immediately goes into full-on medical emergency mode. Oh no, I'm having a stroke, my arm is dying, I've lost all feeling, and now it's going to fall off and be lost to the abyss of the bed forever. The panic is real, and it feels completely justified. But what actually happened? You just slept on your arm, funny. It's called paresthesia, and it happens when you put pressure on a nerve, cutting off its blood supply. Your body is basically telling you, hey, you're squishing the wires, knock it off. The tingling sensation is the nerve waking up, sending a jolt of confused signals to your brain that it interprets as an electrical storm. It's like when you step on a garden hose and the water stops flowing, then you step off, and it comes out in a jerky, chaotic rush. The pins and needles are just your nerves trying to get back to normal after being compressed for a few hours. Your brain, having no better explanation, assumes it's a terrifying medical event. It's the ultimate "I told you so" from your nervous system. Number 5. The sudden, unexplainable nausea. You're completely fine one minute, then the next, a wave of nausea hits you like a brick to the stomach. Your mouth fills with that weird, watery saliva, and your stomach churns. Your mind races. Did I eat something bad? Is it a stomach virus? Is this a sign of a terminal illness I don't know about? The body is a masterpiece of efficiency, but sometimes it makes mistakes, and this one feels like a cruel joke. This is a classic symptom of anxiety. When your brain is in a state of high alert, it diverts blood away from non-essential functions, like digestion, and sends it to your muscles so you can flee from that non-existent tiger. Your stomach gets a signal that it's not a good time for digestion, and it essentially goes on strike. This causes all sorts of chaos, from churning to outright nausea. It's your brain being a terrible micromanager, shutting down departments that are running perfectly fine, all because it thinks there's a problem somewhere else. The nausea is just a physical echo of your mental panic. It's your body's way of saying, I'm so stressed out I feel sick, and actually delivering on that promise. Number 4. The brain zaps. Imagine you're trying to fall asleep and suddenly a jolt of electricity zips through your brain. It feels like a quick, internal lightning strike, a bizarre zap that makes you sit up straight. Sometimes it's accompanied by a strange buzz or a fleeting flash of light behind your eyes. Your mind, of course, immediately jumps to the most sci-fi, terrifying conclusion. Oh, I'm getting electrocuted from the inside out. My brain is short-circuiting. This is the beginning of the end. This unsettling phenomenon is most commonly associated with withdrawal from certain antidepressants, but it can also happen for a bunch of other reasons, like anxiety or sleep deprivation. The brain zap is a perfect example of your brain's circuits getting their wires crossed. When your brain's neurotransmitters are out of sync, maybe due to a change in medication, or just plain old stress, your brain's communication network gets a little fuzzy. Instead of smooth, consistent signals, you get these sharp, static shocks. It's like a computer that's just been unplugged and is trying to reboot itself, but the power cord is a little loose. The zap is just a brief, chaotic surge of electrical activity that your brain interprets as a physical shock. It's your brain's way of throwing a tantrum, a brief, violent protest against its own internal chaos. Number 3, the exploding head syndrome. You're drifting off to sleep, teetering on the edge of consciousness when you suddenly hear a deafening sound. It's a gunshot, a bomb exploding, or a thunderclap that seems to happen right inside your head. You jolt awake, heart pounding, convinced that something has gone terribly wrong. You look around, but there's no sound, no evidence of an explosion. You are completely fine. Except for the fact that your brain just played a cruel, terrifying practical joke on you. Exploding head syndrome is a bizarre sleep disorder where your brain misinterprets the signals of your body shutting down. As you fall asleep, the parts of your brain that process sound and movement don't shut down in sync. So, while most of your brain is going into sleep mode, the auditory part fires off one last, loud, terrifying blast. It's like a faulty firework going off in your head. Your brain essentially creates a hallucination of a loud noise, causing a jolt of pure terror. It's one of the weirdest and most unsettling ways your brain can play a trick on you, making you feel like a bomb just went off, when in reality it's just your body's wiring trying to get its act together. Number 2, the sudden fear of falling. You're walking down the street and for a split second, your leg buckles. It's like a quick, terrifying moment of free fall. Your brain, for a fraction of a second, is convinced you've just tripped on something or a pothole has opened up to swallow you whole. You reflexively flail your arms, maybe let out a small yelp, and then continue walking, a bit embarrassed. This isn't a simple stumble. It's a neurological misfire, a momentary lapse in communication between your brain and your body. This glitch is called hypnagogic jerk, and while it often happens as you're falling asleep, it can also happen when you're awake and fully mobile. Your brain, as it's getting ready to transition from being awake to being asleep, can get its signals crossed. The part of your brain that keeps you balanced and upright is trying to shut down, but your body isn't quite ready for it. The result is a brief, uncoordinated spasm of a muscle in your leg or foot. Your brain, receiving this bizarre, out-of-context signal, interprets it in the most logical way it can. Oh, we must be falling. So it sends a full-body alert to catch yourself, even though there's nothing to catch. It's the ultimate overreaction, a brief but terrifying moment of simulated danger that your brain creates out of thin air. Number 1, the feeling of being watched. You're home alone, the lights are off, and you're just about to do something simple, like walk to the kitchen to grab a glass of water. Then you get the feeling, that primal unsettling sensation that someone or something is watching you. You instinctively turn around, scanning the darkness, your heart pounding just a little faster. You know it's not real. You know you're alone. But the feeling persists. Every creak of the floorboards, every shadow on the wall, and every flicker of light is a sign that your brain is interpreting as a threat. This feeling, known as scopophobia, is a fascinating and ancient human glitch. For our ancestors, being watched from the shadows was a genuine life-or-death threat. The brain developed an incredibly sophisticated alarm system to detect the slightest shift in its surroundings, assuming anything unknown was a predator. This primal instinct is still hardwired into your brain. When you're in a quiet, dark environment, your brain's threat detection system goes into overdrive. It's looking for danger where there is none. That feeling of being watched is your brain sending out a false alert, triggering the same neurological response as if you were truly in danger. So when you get that creepy feeling late at night, it's not a ghost. It's just your brain, being a little too good at its job of keeping you alive, even when you're just trying to get a midnight snack.